So prop firms are a great opportunity to actually scale your capital, get large payouts, and just trade with money that you don't actually have access to personally. And I'm a huge advocate for actually using prop firms, but they do some devious things to actually make it so that you don't make money. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that I feel like you should be aware of when you're actually trading with prop firms to not actually fall into the traps that they actually set you so that you can trade profitably using any prop firm of your choice. Before you actually pick a prop firm, make sure you do go with one that is known for paying people out, that has a good reputation, good spreads, maybe even use a free trial that they actually offer just to test the broker, to test the spreads and the trading conditions before you actually spend your hard-earned money on a large 100, 200k account. It's always best to be sure what you're buying, especially some larger accounts can be upwards of $2,000-$3,000 to actually purchase, so make sure you actually know what you're buying before you actually do so. So the first way they actually get you is by having a leaderboard. Some people might feel like the leaderboard isn't that bad, having it on the prop firm site, but this kind of makes it so that it's like an ego competition. You want to prove you are the best trader, so you want to get on the leaderboard. I see so many people that they'll be on the leaderboard once and then they'll never be on it again. I've been on the leaderboards for many prop firms multiple times, even being top at some point, but that's not something I chase. If I happen to make enough profit to get onto the leaderboard, great. But a lot of people I see actually chase making enough profits so they actually reach the leaderboards and they try and reach number 1. So let's say you're 10th on the leaderboard and you feel like, oh, if I just take a few more trades, I can get to number 1. It's quite dangerous because you've already got to a certain amount of profit. You're doing better than the average trader because you're in the top 10 in your payout period, but then you're looking to make more just so you can rise up on the ranks for that individual prop firm. It's not really a great thing to do, and it kind of gamifies the whole prop firm thing, makes it more of like a gamble trying to just make more to finish top, but that doesn't really help you in any way. If it works and you do come first, then that's great. It's good for you. You make loads of profit. Amazing. But majority of times this actually happens to people. They try and replicate it over and over again. So the next time they'll try and get to first on leaderboards, or they'll try and be on the leaderboards. It makes it so that you're constantly chasing this target or this rank of being on the prop firm leaderboards, but that doesn't really matter. As long as you are getting consistent payouts, it doesn't matter if you're on the leaderboards or not. The past few times I've been trading with True Forex funds, I haven't been on their leaderboards. Do I care? Nope. Do I get paid? Yep. That's all that really matters. So definitely make sure you're not chasing something that won't actually end up getting you paid in the long term. And moving on to number 2, and this kind of can be intertwined with the first step. So having the leaderboard in combination with the certain payout periods which you actually have, which is step 2, it can lead you to losing your profits. So if we're talking about payout periods, usually the prop firms will have 2 weeks or 30 days before you can actually request a payout. And the reason they do this is, let's say a week into your 30-day trading period, and you can only request a payout after those 30 days. 7 days in, you're up 10k. You then have 20 days or 20, however many trading days it is left of that period before you can actually request a payout. So for that whole time, you're not trading, or you say you're not going to trade. However, if it is your only trading account, you can definitely be tempted to enter trades, because if you're done within the first week of the month or the first week of the trading period, you have so much time then that you're not going to be entering trades. And you might see setups, you might see other people entering trades. So by doing this, they cause you to have FOMO, fear of missing out. You're going to be seeing all the setups which you could have potentially been taking, and then you're going to do the maths in your head and like, oh, well, if I took this trade, I would have been up an extra 10k, would have been up an extra 5k if I took this setup. And the next time it happens, you're going to maybe enter the trade because you don't want to miss out on all this profit because you've calculated it and you could have made this much. It's quite hard to actually resist for a lot of people. This is how they get you. The next trade you take could be a loss, but then now your profit isn't as large. Now you want to make that, get back up to that amount, but the next trade is a loss. So then you have to maybe up your risk. So then you lose again. Then you end up losing all your profits. So if it was beneficial for them and you to actually get payouts, they wouldn't leave it 30 days before you actually get paid. It'd be a few days, a week maybe, but majority of firms have 2 to 4 weeks before you can actually get paid. And this is the main reason. They want you to make mistakes. They want you to enter trades even if you've made profit, because the likelihood of you making more profit is very slim. There's going to be those people that do end up just making more profit for the month as opposed to stopping and just waiting for the payout. That could definitely be the case. But for the majority of people actually taking prop firm challenges and getting onto the funded stage, they can't trade consistently. So they might get a lucky win at the start and they think they can replicate it and get more payouts and get more profit during that period. But the likelihood of that actually happening is pretty slim. So definitely be careful with the trades you're taking. And if you have made profit, just patiently wait until you get your payout and then you can go again. Consistency is key in trading, especially when you're trading with money that isn't yours and you don't have access to 100% of it at all times. And the last step is having the phase 2 of the challenge actually easier than the phase 1. There is a psychological reason behind this, which I'm going to go into, but for the people that don't know, phase 1 of a prop firm is usually maybe 8% or 10% in 30 days. And then phase 2 is 4% or 5% in 60 days. I know a lot of firms have actually removed the time limit altogether, but this is what it used to be. But you'll still notice that even if there is no time limit, you still have to make half the profit in phase 2. Obviously your drawdown's the same, but your profit is 50% less. I mean, surely this is good, right? Because you have to make less profit. And if you pass phase 1 to make 10%, you can easily make 5%. But that's where they actually get you. It might seem quite a simple thing, but it's very, very clever on the prop firm's part. The reason is, after you've passed phase 1, you've made 10%. Your ego is through the roof. In a lot of people's cases, they wouldn't be able to walk out that office door after passing their first phase 1. I was the same. I'm not going to lie. After I passed the prop firm, I was like, oh my God, I'm an absolute god. And I know it's going to be the same for a lot of people watching this video. But you just had to remind yourself that, let's just say when you pass phase 1, you were on a winning streak. Let's just say that winning streak is going to continue into phase 2. You don't know that. You could have a couple of losses in a row. But what I often see is people, they pass phase 1 and they want to get phase 2 done super quickly. Very dangerous. You want to trade exactly how you would normally trade. There's no point changing your style to phase 1 or phase 2. Trade exactly the same. If it worked to pass phase 1, do exactly the same on phase 2. Obviously, it'll take half the profit amount to actually make, which is great. But if you go in there with so much confidence and just overconfidence, really, going into phase 2, the likelihood of you passing is very slim. I'm not saying you shouldn't be confident in your strategy, because that is great. If you put in the work to collecting data, testing, you should be confident in the way you're trading. But if it's not done correctly, then you're going to lose. Because it's easier, in your mind you're thinking, oh, it's twice as easy, which means I can do it quite quickly, I can just risk double. But yet again, the amount of people that pass phase 1 that pass phase 2 is very, very slim. It's a very, very small percentage. I've talked about the stats previously on my channel, but you know, out of 1,000 people, you probably get like 10, 20 probably that actually get onto the funded stage, and probably even a smaller amount that actually get payouts. Now it is a lot easier for people because there is no time limit. Before they had 30 days on phase 1 and 60 days on phase 2, which meant that it looks even easier because you have double the amount of time to make half the profit, which again brings you into phase 2 with so much confidence that you're going to pass that easily. Then you get the realization when you actually trade it, oh, it wasn't actually that easy, and then you end up failing. So if you're actually looking to learn how to pass your prop firm, get funded, be sure to check out the new mentorship group, new course in the description, first link, and hopefully I'll see you guys in there very, very soon.